Hey, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got the performance review on these bad boys right here. This is the Nike PG2. So with that being said, let's go ahead, get right into it. So the traction on these guys right here was much better than the PG1. The PG1s didn't have awful traction or anything like that, so don't take it out of context. But the PG2 is just noticeably better than the PG1 in that aspect. The pattern is very much aggressive. It encompasses the entire outsole of the shoe. It's widely spaced apart in most areas, so dust clogging up the grooves is a non-existent issue for the most part. One thing to note is that this rubber is super soft. Like, it feels like it's almost gotten softer the more that I've played in them, which has translated into some really exceptional traction indoors. However, I don't think that this is going to last outdoors whatsoever. So if you're an outdoor only hooper, I probably would not pick these up, but if you're an indoor hooper, I think that you're gonna absolutely love these things. Now the cushion in the PG2 is another aspect that just greatly exceeds the PG1. This definitely feels like a shoe that was evolutionized off the first version, which I think is fantastic. That's what a signature line should be. I know a lot of people don't think that the looks actually were evolutionized, but we're not talking about looks here, we're talking about performance. And these things are just a beast. You have a lightweight Phylon midsole in place with a 4-foot Zoom Air unit, much like the PG1. However, these guys right here don't feel as dense or as blocky or clunky as the PG1 did. Not only that, but the Zoom Air unit is just massive in comparison to the PG1. PG1 was a standard Zoom Air unit, bottom loaded. You could feel it a little bit, especially if you were a heavy player or heavy on your forefoot. These guys do not require that same type of body or playing style. The Zoom Air unit is 10 millimeters thick. It's the entire thickness of the midsole right here, which is awesome. They still have it protruding out of the outsole just a slight bit so that it has that kind of piston effect to it, which only further enhances the actual feeling of Zoom Air underneath your foot. It's almost like Unlocked, but not exactly like it, but it's as close as you could get without actually calling it Unlock Zoom. The transition is super smooth. It's like smooth like butter. I just really enjoyed my time in these guys. Like I said before, I like the PG1, I just didn't think it was all that. The PG2 though, they definitely did their thing with these. Now the materials are pretty similar to what we saw on the PG1. This rear back panel right here actually features that premium touch to it with some suede. I don't think it's premium suede, but it feels good, it looks good, so I'm not complaining. They also use that right there on the toe for the toe drag area, probably one of my favorite features. Gives a nice little accent or pop to the design of the upper, while also giving you a little bit of contrast. And on top of that, it does its job really well, which is protecting the mesh layer that is underneath it. Now speaking of the mesh, I really enjoyed the mesh that was on the PG1, but I think I like this one just a little bit better. It seems a little bit more durable, which I think most people are going to like as well. There is no break-in time required with this stuff, by the way, so if you wanted a shoe that is out of the box ready, this is one of those shoes. Now you will have to break in this small section right here at the base of the laces, but that's not due to the materials themselves. It's actually due to the adaptive fit bands that they have right here, the little straps. Not a big deal though. It happens really quickly if you do need to break that in, so I don't think that it's going to bother anybody. But I love the materials that they use on these guys. I think that they work really well on court. They feel really nice as well. They give you a little bit of everything. They give you a little bit of 90s. They give you a little bit of new age. You can't go wrong. Now in terms of fit, I would suggest going true to size. Wide footers, that's always kind of up for debate. The press release actually stated that these were more wide foot friendly than the PG1s. After breaking them in, I will agree with that. When you first put them on, they start off a little bit tight right in the forefoot, just like the PG1 did. The only difference is that the PG1's forefoot fit never like laxed the more that you played in them. They just kind of felt the same throughout. These guys right here, they do stretch out just a bit. So if you are a narrow footer, you're gonna need to adjust your laces right there at the base. You're gonna have to tighten them up a little bit after you first break them in. But that's what's so cool about having these little adaptive fit straps. I just think that it's awesome that you can loosen or tighten as needed. And then the lockdown from the midfoot back is just fantastic. No issues whatsoever. There's laces all over the place, including on the outside medial and lateral side at the midfoot, just in case you need it. You don't actually have to use that because there's plenty of lacing structure within. But if you wanted that additional security right there at the midfoot, it's not a bad thing to use. I actually really liked it. And then this internal booty setup right here, it feels kind of like a neoprene, and then they got all of this padding inside there, man. I'm telling you, this stuff cups the back of your foot like nobody's business, and it does so in a comfortable way, which is awesome. Now the overall support is adequate. I'd say that that is a slight step up from the PG1. The PG1's tooling kind of felt a little tippy at times, especially in the back. These guys do not feel that way. However, their support features are not crazy or abundant, but they definitely get the job done. You don't have a very large, wide, stable base right here. Instead, it's kind of rounded in certain areas, and it's almost like it's supposed to mimic the foot shape more so than stabilize the foot shape with a super wide base. I personally never had a problem with it. I thought that it felt fine while you were playing in them. And right here at the lateral end of the forefoot, you have a mini outrigger. Again, it's not anything crazy, it's not anything spectacular. It's there though, it works for what it is. You could definitely have it be a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. That would have increased that forefoot stability just a bit, but that also could have made the shoe feel like it was slowing you down a little bit, which these guys do not. These feel like a fast-paced shoe, much like the Kyrie, but with a little bit more cushion, at least a little bit more cushion in the forefoot. And like I said before, the rear section actually sucks your foot right into that heel of the sneaker. I think it feels great. It doesn't feel like it's suffocating or anything. It just kind of feels like it's just gently wrapped around you and it's just protective. I do wish that the internal heel counter was a little bit more firm, a little bit stronger, but the way that everything wraps around your foot, again, it worked really well, so I can't complain too much. It's just a personal preference where I would like a little bit of additional security with something a little bit stronger in the back, but it did not lack anything in terms of actual support. And that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review on the Nike PG2. Again, I think that this is just a slightly better model in most aspects than the PG1. I think the fit is going to accommodate more players and more foot shapes. The price hasn't increased whatsoever. They're still 110 bucks, so I think that if you enjoyed the price point of the PG1, you're not going to miss anything by grabbing the PG2. If anything, you get a little bit more zoom and it feels awesome. You can grab these right now over at eastbay.com if you guys are interested. Link is going to be in the description box below, as well as a link to WearTesters.com where you can find their price, their weight, their scores, and just a little bit more information overall. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. We greatly appreciate it over at WearTesters.com. Let us know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section as well. Have you been playing in a pair? I know that they released 2 colorways so far, one of which being extremely limited, but the other one, not so much. Thank you so much once again, and until next time guys, have a good one.